Welcome to the All Pro Podcast, man. We got a special guest in the house. I'm your host, Jody Football Coleman. We got the show, Stacy Smith, and we got a special guest, the Florida State alum, Dedrick Dodge, the Super Bowl champ. What's happening, my boy?
Hey, how you doing, man? How you doing? How you doing, everybody? No,
Hey, man, I'm gonna jump right in it, man, because once again, man, we've been having a lot of Florida State Seminoles on this podcast, and it's no disrespect, but I'm an Ohio State guy. You know, that's what I do, man.
I like the Buckeyes. I don't got no beef with the Buckeyes. You know who I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Ain't but one school I really don't like. All right.
Say less.
But when you chose Florida State, who were some of the other schools that was coming at? Because if you going to Florida State, you got to be a highly recruited individual. So who else was coming at you?
I tell this story often. I was born and raised in New Jersey, but I moved. My grandmother raised me up north, but I moved to Florida, Marbury, Florida, which is the next town south of Lakeland, Polk County, in the 10th grade. I didn't start playing football to the 10th grade, organized football.
What?
And when I was going to school, I never even thought about college, yo. For real, I always wanted to be a baseball player. And so, like, started doing good, playing both ways, DB, wide receiver, and I started getting letters. And Louisville, Pittsburgh, it was a bunch of them. It wasn't no big names like Ohio State, nothing like that. And Florida State. Florida didn't recruit me. Miami didn't recruit me. They sent me letters, but I'm talking about people that recruit me. NC State was another one. And when I started getting letters, my coach that was coaching me named Vic Smith, who went to Bethune-Cookman, that's when I started like, okay, I can go to college. But I never thought about college. And so I went to Louisville first on a visit, and then Florida State was my next visit. And Coach Bowden said, I didn't know nothing, about state schools. I didn't, man. I was green to everything. And I met Coach Bowden. Coach Bowden just asked me in the one-on-one, you come in here? And I just said, yeah. I'm saying? Like, I didn't know stuff like I know now and stuff like Florida State, Miami. I didn't know nothing about that. I was green, man, for real. I was as far as knowing all these things, man. All I knew was I was Penn State when I was up north, but I wasn't no football player in the heart. I just was good at it. An athlete. I played all three sports. So, like I said, I was trying to go to Pittsburgh because it would put me back in the Northeast. But when I went to Florida State, man, just fell in love with that. And they signed like 5 of us from Polk County that year. Me, Odell Higgins, Brian Law, Shelton Thompson from Lake Gibson. I came in with a really good class, man. So that's how it happened. You know, Bobby asked me, was I coming? I said, yes. And I was there.
Hey, man. So go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, you can hoop too? You a ball player too?
I was a sixth. Look, that's my weakest sport. I was a sixth man. So I was the guy, you want to get like 2 or 3 quick fouls on somebody, put Dodge in. And I do that. I played basketball like a safety. Rough them up a little bit. Put a little goon in there, man. But baseball is my favorite. Basketball. I'm not basketball, football. Really wanted to run track, but at the same time doing baseball season. Baseball is my favorite sport. Football
so here's my question. I'm a Florida State guy, so that's who I pull for. So there, you said Bobby Bowden asked you, "Are you coming here?" And that was it. There was no. I fell in love with Florida State because of what reason? Was there any other reason, or it was just, hey, Bobby said, "Hey, I'm coming here. You're coming here, and I'm coming."
It was fate, divine intervention. You can name it. I knew nothing about Florida State. I knew nothing about no colleges. I played sports because I like to play sports, and my great-grandmother loved seeing my name in the paper, and it made her happy. And I always wanted to get my name. For real, I'm telling you on God, man, for real. I did not think about college. I started getting letters my junior year. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm raised by grandmothers and great-grandmothers and aunties, no male figures to be able to tell me that. So, you know, I'm a character guy, go to church. I didn't know nothing about that. So, all right, I'm getting visits. Matter of fact, I didn't even take all 5 visits because the basketball coach was mad that I was taking visits. He was like, we need you, you know, to be able to sub in and out. So I took the 2 visits, committed to Florida State on the second one, because I like the campus. I like, the little girls that took you around. That was it. I knew nothing about Florida State or Florida or Miami in that standpoint. The only thing I knew about Miami was Boston College beat them that year with Doug Flutie, but I didn't know in depth, man. I was dreaming. I learned all this stuff once I got there. I was just lucky, man. Fortunate, faith, all that, man, for real.
See, that's amazing to have started playing in the 10th grade and you still got highly recruited, because a lot of times, especially for like a Florida State, you have to be recruited almost your freshman year or even coming in the 8th grade these days. So for you to do it, you have to be a phenomenal athlete to do that, man. And I can tell that you are. And being a professional, did you ever get an opportunity to play baseball at Florida State?
No, I wanted to. They didn't think I could play because I got hurt playing basketball my senior year and separated my shoulder. So I missed my senior year of baseball. So in their minds, even though they knew I could play, they thought I couldn't. And you know what? I wouldn't have been able to play anyway because the depth chart was so deep in the spring, because baseball was in the spring.
Yeah.
I was trying to vie for like a position to be able to get playing time. So I wasn't as good as Deion Sanders was at baseball or Ronald Lewis or Victor Floyd, but I wasn't bad though. And it was my favorite sport as far as on that. Like I said, man, the reason they recruited me, I led Polk County in interceptions and receptions my senior year. I played both ways. So I led the county in interceptions with 12, and I led them in receptions. So I was at the top of the list on both of them.
So that segues right into my next. You got to play all throughout you played every game your whole career at Florida State.
Yes, sir.
So, and I see you registered 10 career interceptions.
Yes, sir.
So how do you not get the recognition of someone, say like a Leroy Butler, Jalen Ramsey, Lee Corso, Dion Buckley, or even James Posey for that matter? How do you not get recognized in that breath?
I get recognized, and just being truthful, they better than me as true athletes. I am an overachiever, underdog type, chip on my shoulder type guy. I'm just a football player. When Shanahan signed me in Denver, they asked him about me because me and him was in San Fran together. They was like, what kind of athlete he is? He said, he's just a football player. Man, I just make football plays, man. You know what I'm talking about? That's just what I do. So I am respected highly. I'm not on Leroy Butler and them level, respecting them guys. If you ask any one of them guys about the Blade, they're gonna be like, the Blade can play. So my respect is, you know what I mean? If I was doing stuff, I still get me. I'm still gonna make plays.
Yeah. That's my next question. Who gave you the nickname Blade? Because I think I heard you tell this story before one time, but I wanted to hear from your mouth.
Man, when I came to Florida State, I was 6'3", 153 pounds. And so the guys was always teasing me, trying to give me some kind of telling skinny jokes. I can hula hoop in a Cheerio. I was the president of Ethiopia. Every skinny joke they would say. But in my mind, I was going to show them when I got on the field that, you know what I'm talking about, I'm a 2x4 and I'll knock you out. That's just my mentality. I always want to prove people wrong. So I was in line one time in the cafeteria, and our offensive coordinator name was Wayne McDuffie.
Okay.
He was a real strong man, as far as like people was kind of afraid of Wayne McDuffie. So he was behind me in line. I was scared. He said, you know what? He said, you're skinny. He said, you're skinny as a blade of grass. Your name is the Blade. And everybody started laughing. And then it just stuck. Everybody was calling me the Blade because they said, that is true. He cut like the Blade, and he's skinny like a blade of grass. And that name stuck from then on. Coach McDuffie gave me that name.
Okay.
So coming out of Florida State, how did it feel, the draft process? How did that feel coming out of Florida State, man? Tell me how that, because a lot of people don't get that experience, and you got it.
Once again, I never thought about the NFL. Not one time. As I never thought about college, it just fell to me. I never thought about the NFL. I graduated in the fall, 89 with a criminology degree. I went to Newark, New Jersey. My auntie got me a job at Anheuser-Busch in Newark, New Jersey. I was working at Anheuser-Busch. This little agent named Mike Mosley kept calling me in Jersey. I don't know how he got my number. He was like, "You sure you don't want to try out or whatever, work out?" And I was like, "No, I'm good." And then he said this one line to me when I was up there. He said, "You don't want to be like what if in the future? Like, what if I would have tried? What if I would have worked out?" And that's what got me back to Florida State. So Leroy Butler, who was highly rated, he told me when I came back, he said, "When the scouts come work me out, I'll call you and you can come work out with me." And that's exactly what happened. And the Miami game is what got me the free agent contract. I didn't get drafted in 12 rounds. I was undrafted. Out of 30 teams, but only one team offered me a free agent contract. Off of that Miami game, I had a good Miami game. They was coming to see Leroy, but they don't watch highlight tapes. They watch game tapes. So if you're making plays, they see you as well. And Joe Vick, the scout for them, said, "If we don't draft you for Seattle," he said, "if we don't draft you in the 12 rounds, we'll bring you as a free agent." And he bought me, and he bought our center, Michael Penix, as a free agent. That's how I got to Seattle.
Okay. So let's talk about these 10 interceptions that you gained over your career at Florida State. Do you think them wanting to not throw to Dion kind of, pay tribute to your silent success as far as getting picks thrown your way?
I think a little bit, not really. I'm a deep half guy. I'm a ball hawk. I'm a receiver, man. I'm a receiver slash. I went to Florida State as a receiver, and then Coach Andrews moved me to DB. I had 12 interceptions in my senior year. I got good instinct. So I'm blessed with instinct. I'm blessed with being loud. I'm blessed with the toughness, even though I'm a skinny dude. So my instinct and feel, you can't teach instinct. And so I had instinct. So when we went too high or one high, I've always played safe, even though I was skinny, because I had good instinct for the ball. They call me ball hawk in Seattle. Some players got it, some don't. And so I just was good at breaking on the ball, route recognition, getting to the ball. I'm going to get to the ball, period. My family is watching for me. You know what I mean? That's what I tell cats all the time. Like, when they're watching the 49ers, they wasn't watching for Jerry Rice. Your family is watching for you, somebody that they know. My homeboys was watching for me. So the only way you can get noticed is if you make plays. You know what I mean? And so that was always my motivation. Even when I was in high school, I just told you, my great-grandmother looked in the paper the next day. She was looking for my name. She adopted me when I was a junior. My real name is Dedrick Allen. And she adopted me in the left. My real great-grandmother adopted me. And that's how I became Dedrick Dodge, Dedrick Allen Dodge. But she loved me, man. I appreciate her. And she wanted to keep my name in the paper. The only way I can get my name in the paper to do it, I got to make plays. That's always been my motivation. Even to this day, as a coach, when I went to the league, I'm representing Florida State. You see what I'm talking about? I'm representing Florida State. Everybody come through there. I'm a Florida State guy, no brother. We make plays. That's the mentality I always took.
That's right.
So when you got to the league, you got to the 49ers. Arguably, I think the 49er team, and y'all won that Super Bowl, and was it 94, 95?
94.
That was one of the best teams overall talent-wise, and you were in the rotation. How did that feel to win that Super Bowl when that confetti was coming down, man? How did that feel, man?
It felt fantastic, but I was used to winning. Even though we didn't win the national championship at Florida State, my last 3 years, it was 11-1, 11-1, 10-2. And so Seattle was my first 2 years. When I got to San Fran, every time I went somewhere, I went to make the team. And I just took that confidence up in there. I was the only undrafted guy out of them 8. We had a good group of DBs, man. So I just felt fortunate. Special teams helped me play 7 years. I played 2 years in the World League, won the World Championship in the World League. You know what I mean? So I've been used to winning. I've been prepared for this from the people and the coaches that I've had. I tell players all the time, man, I've been fortunate. I've had good coaches everywhere I've been. And that's why I pride myself on being a good coach. I had good coaches in high school. I had good coaches in high school. I had good coaches at Florida State, and every NFL team I played for, I had good coaches, man. I just always wanted to represent. You know what I mean? It just was my attitude as far as on that. And when I went out, I put my best foot forward, knew what I was representing, and that's how I went about my business.
Amen. So you spoke of coaches. Tell us what your relationship is like with Coach Bowden and Coach Andrews, and how did you receive the news when he left us?
Okay, Coach Bowden was like a father figure to a lot of teams. First of all, he's a Christian guy. He don't get loud. He don't yell. He wants the best for you. But he really didn't coach me. He was more the head coach. My coach was really Coach Andrews. Now, Coach Andrews is a junction boy from the Alabama days. And on the field, one of the most hard-nosed coaches that you'll ever be. Off the field, the sweetest man you'll ever want to meet. But he did not play the radio when you were on the field. You had to be tough. You had to get to the ball. You had to do it, or you was going to be on the bench. The bench was your motivator. So if you won the cat and you didn't want to play, he's going to sit you down. But he's going to let you know every single day. He's going to be on you hard. But he taught us every drill that I needed to know when I got to the NFL. All the drills they was doing, we did them at Florida State. We tackled every day at Florida State. That's where the toughness comes from. They be like, oh, he's skinny, but he's tough. Man, we tackled every day. Every day we tackled. Third something, we hit. So Coach Andrews was a hard-nosed guy. I sure appreciate him in the group that I came up with. This is our whole staff. I was spoiled. We had Coach Bowden, Coach Scott, Coach Mark Rick. You know what I'm saying? We had a lot of Coach Eason. And they were together for a long. Coach Amato, you know what I mean? Coach Sexton, Jimmy Higgins, they all was together a long time. So it was more like a family. But those two coaches, I was just blessed to be, like I said, blessed to go to Florida State. Even today, if I had a choice to go to a school, I'll go back to Florida State. I mean, it just worked for me. I love my class of 85. Number one recruiting class that year. Odell Higgins, Deion Sanders, Sheldon Thompson, Sammy Smith. I can go on. John Parks, all them cats, man. We're probably one of the closest classes, helped build the building block to get it to where it is now.
And man, so you mentioned Coach Andrews. I think we had James Colsey on the show a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about the choke at Doak game where he caught the diving interception out of bounds. And he said Coach Andrews ate his lunch for that play because he felt like he'd done it wrong. So he said Coach Andrews gave him a failing grade on that play. Was he like that with you guys?
He was like that with everybody. Everybody, I guarantee you this. I'll put all my money on it. Everyone that's played for Coach Andrews has a Coach Andrews story. And another thing is, every last one of us love him because we appreciate that tough love that he gave us. He was tough. Coach Andrews loved you hard off the field, but back when I played, we ran through a sign that said enthusiasm, and that's what he expected. Enthusiasm, toughness, endurance, flying to the ball. That was him, and that's how he did the whole day. That's how it was in practice. I mean, your position can change daily in practice. If you have a bad practice, if you was first team, you can be second team the next day. That's how Coach Andrews did it. He motivated you by putting you on the bench. You know what I mean? You're going to get the best out of it, but I appreciate him for that. Everybody got a Coach Andrews story. I didn't want them problems, man. I tried to be the best I could be.
So what was your most memorable game? I know you had plenty of great games and great matchups. But what was your most memorable game when you was at Florida State?
Miami, my senior year, because we had to beat them the whole time I was there. And then we had went 0-2, lost to Southern Miss and Brent Favre.
Remember.
Terry Allen and Clemson came and ran us over.
I remember.
We won 10 straight. And we beat Auburn, we beat LSU, Michigan State, but beating Miami for the first time. You know what I mean? Just to say I beat them. And they look, we beat them. They still won the national championship because then they had one loss. That's when the U was the U. But beating them at Doak, it started off tight. Leroy Butler got an interception. The next play, Dexter Carter ran for a touchdown. Man, I can remember, man. And that was a great team that we beat. Like I said, there was national championships, but that was my most memorable. That game got me in the league.
Yeah.
That's the game that the scouts saw was like, we can bring this guy in as a free agent. I had a couple monster hits in that game. One of my best hits in that game. Mm-hmm.
I remember that game when I was a kid. My foster parents even went to that game, and they said that when Chief Osceola came out, that they were taunting the horse and wouldn't let him throw the spear down. What you seen that, obviously? What was your thoughts? Because I seen Dexter Carter about to snap.
They don't do it anymore. We still throw the spear, but they don't let the players come to the middle of the field. I played in the good old days. Back when I played, Miami would be on the side of the dope helmet, and we would be on the other side, and the horse would come right between both of us. You know what I'm talking about? And people get up and throw the spear down. Now they make you stay on the sideline, and you come out and do it. But when we went, it was more hype. It ain't nothing. That's part of our ritual. I mean, you don't really have to get motivated. One thing about Miami is this. You ask a lot of Florida State guys. We got mad respect for Miami. You know what I mean? We the same type dudes. We just really compete hard with each other, but off the field, we close. None of us like Florida, on or off the field. I'm just being 100. It's kind of like Ohio State, not liking Michigan. We don't like, I hate Florida. I respect Miami, want to beat them, but I don't think none of us like the Gators at all. It's not even, I just don't, I mean, that's no.
Yeah, we also had Rondi Weston on the show last week, and he mentioned that. He mentioned that. What did he mention? He mentioned that he said he actually loves Florida State, and he was this close to coming to Florida State. He said Bobby Bowden was the turning point of him even considering Florida State. So he mentioned that from behind the scenes, Florida guys and Florida State guys are pretty much, good friends. What do you say to that?
We since we're grown, older now, we kind of get along because a lot of us went to school together and things like that. But as far as the university, we don't like them because this is the deal with Florida. Don't nobody like Florida, period. Georgia, nobody. Tennessee. And the reason is Florida think they better than everybody. They bougie. Florida cats are bougie. They think they better. They're the state school. They got the most money, bull gators, all like that. And that's how they walk with their head up and stuff like that. Florida State supposed to be the sister school. You hear all that. Y'all used to be a girls' school and stuff like that. So we had to let them cats recognize, man, that ain't who we are. Now, Miami being a private school, coming up where they came from, how Seminole did a good job like that. But Florida always to this day, because it is, and it really is, the state school. You know what I'm talking about? So we had to earn ours from the mud. And that's just how we go at it.
Okay.
I watched the 30 for 30 with Miami, and they said that they respected Florida State so much because they didn't discontinue the series like Florida did. They said Florida discontinued the series, but they always said they had much respect for Florida State. And y'all get respected around the country. Like I said, I'm from Dayton, Ohio. And I tell this because we've had several Seminoles on the show. And they love y'all up here. Like, they love the Seminoles up here. Like, they have their own little. I'm like, hold on. How you going to have your own group and we got Ohio State right here? Like, that's all we think about up here. But it's a large amount of people that love y'all up here, man. They love Florida State.
From them years, and that's from them years from Jesse Hester all the way through. I know we had some down years recently, but look at the run we had, kind of like Alabama and stuff like that. We was always on TV. We always played Florida. The Florida State-Miami game has always been hyped. And back then, when it was independent, we played everybody. When I think we played Michigan State, LSU, Auburn, Clemson, you know what I'm saying? Plus Florida and Miami. We played everybody. Bobby wasn't scared to play nobody. Ohio State, back before I got there, he wasn't afraid to play anybody. So that's how he got the name out there as far as like being out there, because we weren't afraid to play anybody. That's just how we go. But we good dudes, man. We just like to have fun. You know what I'm talking about? And win on that, and win on the back end.
Yeah. Go ahead. So,
So
like I
my
said,
thing
we had
is,
Go ahead.
who
Go
was
ahead. I'm
your
sorry.
favorite? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, who was your favorite person to intercept while you was in college? Like who was
My
your favorite
favorite,
interception that you got?
Reggie Slack in the Sugar Bowl, because and the reason that interception, it had nothing to do with Reggie Slack. It had more to do with I intercepted him in the World League too. He played for New York, New Jersey. What up, Reggie? It's important play. The reason that interception was live to me because I got beat on a fade in 1987 by Michael Irvin. And because I was looking at the team. And that was even though that didn't lose the game, that was the last time I ever been beat on a fade route because my eyes was wrong. And so Auburn in the Sugar Bowl, which is that same year, Auburn ran the same play, but I was there for it and I picked it off. So that was special because I learned from my mistakes. And as coaches, we try to coach players. When you make a mistake, that's cool, but don't make the same mistake twice. But that interception was special for me in the Sugar Bowl because earlier in '87, I got beat on that play by having my eyes wrong. And this time, I didn't get beat. I haven't been beat in the face since 1987. I don't care if it's flag football, Madden, I don't care. But I ain't been beat on the face since 1987. I tell them that.
So that was the Sugar Bowl. Was that the same year that Dion intercepted the ball?
The same year.
Yeah, that was the same year, and he was guarding. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was that Lawyer Tillman?
He was
Lawyer Tillman in the slot. That was a good matchup for the longest time.
We was in two-man, which means man underneath. So we was in two-man, man underneath, and Dion trailed underneath. Of course, he got gears, quick gears that the average person don't got. Once he saw the ball, boom, and that was game. And it was crazy because I made a play first. They could have called the interference. I got away with it. Leroy Butler made a play, and then Dion made the next play, and we won the game. That was a good game. I think Auburn was the SEC champions that year too, as well. You know?
Yeah, that was an excellent game. I didn't see Sammy Smith get off like I wanted to. We had a little bit of a slow start in the beginning, but he finally started picking it up. What is your relationship with some of these guys like Sammy Smith and Tracy Sanders and all these guys here now?
We're all close. So whenever we have get-togethers or they come back to Florida State or any kind of golf tournament, stuff like that, we close. I'm telling you.
Okay.
The 85 is really 80. The 85, this is me, my opinion. 80, probably 84, 85 for sure. 85 to like early 90s, William Floyd and them, we the closest classes out of all. Let me tell you my opinion on why. We all live together. See, now they have it in college where you can't just have a football dorm or a football complex. We was in Colbert Terrace. That was us. With nobody else in Colbert Terrace but football players. And then we went to Burt Reynolds. That's where we was. So we was always around each other. It was just us. So now they stay all over the place, all over Tallahassee, some stay over there. You know, it kind of hurt the cohesiveness of them. We didn't have that problem. And that's why our class is so close to me. This is my opinion. That's why we're so close to this day, because all we had was each other. We was always around each other. And we had a football-only complex. It was just football. What they got now is not football only. They're trying to get it built where it's football only. But I came up in the football only. There was nobody in there but football. Wednesdays, the basketball players came in and ate dinner because that was family night for Coach Bowden. He loved the basketball. Other than that, it was just us. And so that helped with us being as close as we are right now.
Okay. So tell us about these 2 Super Bowl rings and which one was your more memorable one? Which one did you cherish the most?
Both of them.
Both of them?
Yeah, both of them, because there was 2 different teams.
Okay.
San Fran, I had never been, it is a professional organization. I mean, it is top notch. Everybody's rock stars. Eddie DeBarlo treated everybody like they was number one. You never felt inferior at San Francisco. It was the Niners. I played with guys with the gold jackets. I'm talking Steve Young, Jerry Rice. You got Ricky Waters, Charles Mann. You know what I'm saying? It was just William Floyd, Deion Sanders, Tim McDonald. I mean, it was a star-studded team. And then we kind of knew we was going to win it. I ain't going to front. We just had to beat Dallas. Because Dallas was still strapped. And bringing Deion in and the other guys that helped us do it, that was the Super Bowl for us because we had already smashed San Diego early. Now, we did. So we already knew it was going to smash it. Denver, we wasn't counted on to win. So that's why that was special because everybody thought we went in there as a wild card. So I don't think it had ever been done before. A team went in through a wild card and made it all the way. So we beat Jacksonville at home. We had to go beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. We had to beat Kansas City in Kansas City, and then defeat the defending world champion Green Bay Packers, who they said was going to repeat. And we was really playing that year for John Elway. So in San Fran, that was Steve Young's first and only championship. And in '98, that was John Elway's first. And both of those was real special just because of that aspect. Because there was different way going in both of them.
Understood. So let's go back to college right quick. Go ahead.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
One question. When you was at San Francisco that year, the year y'all won the Super Bowl, y'all got beat really, really bad by the Philadelphia Eagles.
We did.
How did that change the course of y'all season? Because I think it was like 40-8. And
it was a big number. It was a good game plan by them. Got that little running back they had. He's still running right now, but it ain't changed. It ain't changed for us because we knew we had a scrap squad. That was just a bad day for us. It was just a bad day for us. The Eagles, credit to them, they came in with a good game plan, jumped on us, and but other than that, it didn't deter us none. It ain't make us closer. We was already tight. You know what I'm saying? Okay. We already felt that we was that team. We just had a bad game. Next game, we kept it rolling. We didn't even stay on that game. It was nothing. For real, man. We lost it. We corrected what we had to correct. We kept it moving.
Yeah, because sometimes they say you need that loss, but y'all said y'all didn't. It didn't matter if y'all.
It ain't phase us. We didn't need it because we weren't complacent. We had guys on that team that hadn't won a Super Bowl that were older heads like Charles Mann and Ricky Jackson. You know what I'm saying? That Charles Mann was at Washington for a long time. We had Ken Norton. Ken Norton Jr. We had Gary Plummer. We had a lot of guys from a lot of different places. Oh yeah. That was, you know what I mean? That were mature. A lot of maturity on this team. And then we drafted some real good guys. Then you got Jerry Rice, Steve Young trying to win his first one, get the monkey off his back. You know what I mean? From up under Joe Montana. We was already focused from day one, from camp.
So let's go back to college. And let's talk about some of your matchups in college as far as practice goes. And who did you have the most difficulty with far as assignments go in practice? And name the wide receivers that you had to cover in practice so Jody would know. Name some of these guys.
Since I played safety, if I was covering somebody, it was a zero blitz.
Okay.
I'm deep half, middle hole. But I played with the Fab Four. And so the
Stop
Fab Four.
Stop right there.
Okay.
The name it, because that is the first hip hop receiver faction in college football. I can name them. Is it Bruce Lassane?
Yes, sir.
Lawrence Dawsey?
Yes, sir.
Ronald Lewis?
Yes, sir.
Terry Anthony?
That's them. Fab Four.
The Fab Four.
Tough.
Continue.
Every day when I was at Florida State was game day. Marion Butts, Edgar Bennett, Dexter Carter, Sammy Smith, Keith Frost, the Fab Four, Pat Carter, Reggie Johnson. This every day. All the quarterbacks. Look, let me tell you how it was. My senior year, Peter Tom Willis was a starter. Casey Weldon and Brad Johnson was the backups. Charlie Ward was
What
the
the-
fourth string quarterback and punted for
Stop.
us.
Stop.
All
No,
four
stop.
of them dudes played
Yeah.
professional.
No.
Yeah.
No. No. Charlie
Let
Ward
me
was the fourth
repeat to
string.
you. Peter Tom Willis was the starter, played for the
Yep.
Bears.
Mhm.
Casey Weldon was the backup. Him and Brad Johnson kind of flipped. Casey Weldon played in the NFL. Brad Johnson played for the Vikings and the Bucks in the Super Bowl. And Charlie Ward was the fourth string quarterback and was our punter.
Woo!
This is who I'm going to get. Oh, and Anthony was there.
Yep.
This is who I go against every day in practice. So when I went to the NFL, a lot of these players that was there, that was my mentality. We just moving to step up. I done played against all you guys when I was in college. LSU's, the Auburns, the Clemsons. I wasn't in awe when I went to the league. I respect the league, but I wasn't in awe because I played against you guys. But my practice, how we practice every day, Miami said the same thing. Our practices was game day. It was like a game every day. And that prepared us for when we got to the NFL. It prepared me. I know that for sure.
Do you hear how loaded Florida State was in the late
That's
80s
insane,
and early
man.
90s?
I never knew that. I never knew that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Casey, I did tell correct me if I'm wrong, Dedrick. Casey Weldon ended up second in the Heisman running one year.
Mm-hmm.
He did. I mean, we at Florida State, I mean, around the country, people would call him Baby Joe Montana. That's how great he was. Even before him,
and that's
you had Danny
before-
McManus.
Yup,
You had
that's
Danny McManus before.
That's before the other colleges started coming up. And what happened was, this is my opinion. I would say my opinion. When you got coaches from Miami, Florida, and Florida State that get head jobs, places, or coordinator jobs, they still have their ties in Florida. I'm going to give you a perfect example. You would say, how can a guy like Teddy Bridgewater escape Florida and go to Louisville? Because back when I played, a guy didn't mind waiting his turn until he started.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, there's coaches that say, you can come start right now. You ain't got to sit behind Dedrick Dodge. You can come in and play right now. So they'll go to a Louisville or Toledo or Utah. Or they just want to play. And, you know what I mean, that kind of like hurt our schools a little bit. You know what I mean? Because now UCF can steal a kid from us. USF can steal a kid. Florida International, Florida Atlantic can get a kid from us. And not that Ohio State come and get whatever receiver they want out of Florida every year. They come and get them. Ohio State gonna come get a receiver out of Florida, a 5-star every year. Because look at the lineage of them. Look at the receivers that come through there, and they want to go there. My cousin is Michael Jenkins. Michael Jenkins is my cousin that played Ohio State.
Okay.
Yup, that's my cousin.
I got a good friend that played with Vitek. His name was Tony Kennedy.
Okay.
He said he played against y'all, and he said this is when Vitek wasn't in the conference, and they played Florida State, and they said they gave y'all everything they could. He told me that story probably about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, he said
tough.
Yeah, he said he played y'all tough, but y'all just had too much for him.
We had too many for Virginia at that time. They didn't start getting louder. They got Michael Vick. Then that was the difference maker. You know, he was the cheat. Michael Vick, the cheat code.
He was.
I'm glad I had to go against that cat. Yeah.
I'm telling you, I think who was that had the spy all night? Was it Gibson or Green? He was tired. I felt so bad for him that night. So we're gonna ask you some up-to-date questions. How do you feel, Norvell? How do you feel how Coach Norvell is doing and what he's doing with the team right now? And do you see them making the playoffs? And if they don't, what would be the Achilles heel of them not making it?
I think since Coach Norvell took over, I'm gonna tell you what I know for a fact what he did. He brought the alumni players back together. It had separated a little bit, and I'm not gonna go in that show on how it separated. But when he came in, he brought us together. He called us. I was a head coach in high school. He called all the Florida State head coaches in the state, just to say hello. I thought it was a joke. I was like, did Norfolk just called me? He left a number. I called it back thinking I was going to get the secretary. It was Mike Norfolk. So one thing he did was bring us back together because it's always been that way. Bobby Bowden is family. I don't care who you were on the depth chart at Florida State. When Bobby Bowden was there, if you came back, you had free access everywhere. And Jimbo did the same thing. He kept it rolling. Mike Norvell brought that back. And he don't mind listening to former players and letting former players come be around the players to tell them about the tradition of Florida State. He shows us mad respect, and we appreciate him for that. All right, going on to the thing. If we slip, it's because we play in our interstate schools. And anything can happen when you play Florida and Miami. That's just how it is. All the records go out the door when we play Miami and we play Florida, because it's friends playing against friends and brothers playing against brothers. And you got to be in the end game. That's the only thing I feel that can nick us. But I'm real impressed. We got to keep that quarterback healthy, because he's the key. What they say, he's the straw to the drink, make sure to the straw. Keep that dude, keep him healthy, and we got a chance. Defense is playing tough, but there's a lot of good teams out there still, so they just got to keep continuing getting better. But Florida and Miami is always going to be a tough game. I don't care what they look like down or whatever. It don't never have that when we play each other.
That's crazy you say that, because we had Maven Saunders on the show last week as well, and he even mentioned that the Florida game and the Miami game and even the Duke game at this point are going to be tricky games. What do you say to that?
Yes, because Duke is playing well. Look, and we're going to say this. You can get beat on every given Saturday. I know they say every given Sunday. There are teams out there good. If they catch fire, they can get you. Duke right now is playing on a high. They can't sneak up on us right now because we've seen what they've done. You know what I mean? They got Clemson, you know what I'm saying? Almost got Notre Dame. Could have them. Almost had them. But now they can't sneak up on nobody else. Now they're real respected. We ain't thinking Duke football right now. I know I'm not. I'm thinking, all right, these boys, they're playing. You know what I'm saying? This coaching staff doing a great job with these guys. But now they got to go in with a certain mindset. Not that it's Duke. You know what I'm saying? All right, then this is Duke, a really good football team that can beat you and derail your goals for what you got. Now, the Florida and the Florida State game, you ain't got to tell nobody about that. You ain't got to hype nobody up about that. That's Florida. That's Miami. They're going to come straight as far as mentally, as far as playing.
Hey, man, so do you think Jordan Travis, what's the odds of him winning the Heisman Trophy this year?
I like him. And look, I like him. But Caleb Williams is going to take that Heisman Trophy. He's going to be back to back. He's the returning guy. His numbers are tremendous. I don't see nobody close to him. Caleb Williams out there at USC is doing another fantastic job. You know what I mean? Because of how we run our offense, he's more of a running quarterback, passing quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He would have to have numbers like Vic had. I don't think he has those yet, even though he's a really good player. Caleb Williams right now is still just playing at a high level, and he won the Heisman last year.
Yeah. I gotta hit you with your alumni, Florida State. Lee Corso, not so fast. Michael Penix Jr. at Washington is that dude. He is the dude, and I think they got a better chance because I think they got a better team than USC. USC's defense can't stop a nosebleed. And I think if they lose 2 games and Washington's undefeated, they got to go with Michael Penix Jr. So that's just my opinion.
You talking about as far as the Heisman guy?
Yeah.
I got to peek at him. I was in Seattle. Look, I got a lot of respect for the Huskies because I was in Seattle when the Huskies won the national championship. And so I know the love. I know how I know how them fan base up there and how they get down up in there in that land, man. So a lot of respect for them. They all got to play each other. That's crazy over there. What's it, Pac-12 or Pac-10? Pac-12?
Pac-12.
It's Oregon State, Oregon, USC, Washington, all them boys ranked.
Yeah.
Utah, it's crazy. It's a lot of football to be played, man, for real. And you're right. SC defense struggling a little bit, but Caleb got to be the X factor on it. I don't have no
Yeah.
horse in that race over there. I don't care nothing about none of them teams. All I care about is Florida State.
So you also mentioned that your year of your 85 class and 89 class is the closest. I mean, comparing them, and I hate doing this, comparing them, if you guys played one another, if 80 your best year in college played Jameis Winston's team or
Ooh.
played uh Danny Canal's team where Charlie's team, who do you pick? Because I tell you, PK, we had PK on the show, and
Yeah.
he thinks, he even said it himself that the 2002 team is the best team ever assembled at Florida State.
And it's a lot of validity to that because you look at guys that's from those teams that went to the league and things like that. But I'm never gonna like say my year that was there. So I'm gonna say the game's gonna end in the tie, no matter who we play.
Okay.
It's gonna
Okay,
end in the
fair
tie
enough.
at the end, and we're gonna shake hands and a hug. You know what I'm talking about? And you know what I'm saying? Go have one. That's what we're gonna do. You know what I mean?
Fair
I ain't
enough.
saying they're gonna beat us. I'm not saying we're gonna beat them, but it's gonna end in the tie. We had
Fair
Leroy
enough.
Butler. Look, I played with 2 Thorpe Award winners.
Yeah.
Terrell Buckley and Deion Sanders, and 2 Hall of Fame guys, Leroy Butler and Deion Sanders. You see what I'm talking about, though? You already know about Prime. Prime is the one that pointed the thing back. Both of them dudes, 2 of the greatest returners ever came, along with Peter Ward at State. So we always got a chance. You always got a chance. You got Prime on your team.
Yeah.
I was going to ask that question because we probably all can agree that Deion Sanders is the best defensive player from Florida State. But a lot of people say the best offensive player, hands down, is Peter Ward. Is that correct?
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Pete was electric. It's hard to say. It's just who you want to choose. You know what I'm talking about? There's just a lot of great guys that has come through there. Peter Ward was one that was live. I have to say, I remember when Dalvin Cook carried Florida State by himself. When that's all we had. I felt like it. Dalvin Cook, get out. He's one of my favorite Florida State players. I followed him since he was at Central. You know what I'm saying? But I love me some Dalvin Cook, man. But I love them all, though, man. Pete was that deal. I just love Florida State and all the guys, man. I'm never going to put one over another as far as that, man, because we all brothers.
So, amen. So we like to do our Mount Rushmore over here. We like to do our Mount Rushmore of Florida State greats and Ohio State greats over here. So your Florida State Mount Rushmore or running backs, and I'll let him ask the other question. Who's your Florida State Mount Rushmore running backs?
Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook.
How many want me to name? I agree. And I'm not hating on none of the other ones because I love them. But Dalvin Cook. I just think Dalvin Cook, we knew Warwick Dunn did his thing. A lot of great running backs that have come through, Sammy Smith and stuff. I think, it always goes Warwick Dunn and Dalvin Cook, 2 of the most famous ones that has come out because they also had great NFL careers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep.
So my Mount Rushmore running backs there is Warwick Dunn, Dalvin, Dexter, and Amp Lee.
That's a great
four. Mine is Warwick Dunn, number 1. Dalvin Cook. I like Edgar Bennett. That was my guy.
Well, he's a fullback.
Yeah, we got William Floyd, Edgar Bennett, as far as fullbacks. Marion Butts. Marion Butts. He fell out of Florida State. He was all pro in the league. Yup.
James Coleman. I'll put Coleman there. Or even if you want to put Greg Johnson. Yeah. So that's
Freeman was
so the top 2, 1A. It ain't gonna be 1A, 1. Always gonna be Warwick Dunn, Dalvin, Warwick Dunn. That's just gonna always be that right there.
Yeah.
So all you gotta do is go back and look at the days.
So I wanted to ask him I'll let you ask him, is Florida State DBU? Who's DBU? And what is his Mount Rushmore of DBU?
They got so much talent, man. Like, like I said, I'm from up north, but Florida State has so much talent, man. It's almost like we get jealous of y'all up here, man. Because
It's an embarrassment of riches, bro. When Coach Bobby,
man, y'all got. I hate when they say the quarterbacks wasn't successful in the league. We lost it. They said the quarterbacks were not successful, but man, y'all got Casey Weldon, Charlie Ward, Chris Winkie, Brad Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Casey Weldon. I mean, y'all was just loaded at the quarterback position. I like Knicks. You know what I'm saying? Y'all had just so much talent.
Now we talk running backs. What we talk about now?
We're talking about we're talking about DBs. Who is your Mount Rushmore of DBs? And
how many I got to name?
Florida State is DBU.
4.
How many I got to name?
4.
Y'all know number 1. Look, let me say this here. Well, I'm gonna say the 3. We had some good DBs come through.
Yes.
And we're talking about, are we talking as they went to the NFL or just Florida State?
Just Florida State.
Just Florida State.
How can you not pick the 2 Thorpe Award winners? Deion Sanders and Terrell Buckley. They got to be. You're talking Florida State.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jalen Ramsey in there. Because he was a dog in there. Throw it up with a lot of men. I'm just gonna name the 3 right there. I'm gonna go Jalen Ramsey. I'm gonna go, Deion Sanders, Terrell Buckley, Jalen Ramsey. I'm gonna rock that.
Don't do that, D. Go ahead and put another one up there. Don't do us like that, man.
No, I'm jobbing y'all. All you extra juggers, Leroy Butler.
Okay.
Why? Because Leroy Butler was an All-American at Florida State, also playing corner as a safety, and he wear the gold jacket.
I like Corey Sawyer.
Why don't you have?
I love Corey Sawyer.
Yeah,
Corey Sawyer, nice. Yeah. Corey Sawyer was nice.
What about Derwin?
Yeah.
Let me tell you what Derwin was.
Yeah,
Derwin was more of a hybrid linebacker, run to the ball guy, as he is where he is now. Not really like a DB. Great athlete.
I get what you're saying.
Blitzer and do all them things like that. He was excellent. He was a switchblade knife. You know what I'm saying? Deion Sanders, Terrell Buckley, talking Florida State. Deion Sanders, Terrell Buckley, what I said. Leroy Butler, what else I said?
Ramsey.
Yeah. So I mean, when we only do this Mount Rushmore, we always tend to leave somebody out, and that person to me would be LaMarcus Joyner as well.
Woo! Yeah. I mean,
y'all
got so much talent. Like, I
love Joyner. He don't move in front of them. We got guys went in the first round, like Derek Gibson and guys like that.
Yeah, I remember.
I mean? So Jonah tight now. He was a tough little fella.
Yeah. So
I mean, Buckley, Deion Sanders #1. Period. He's up there by himself. Leroy Butler was that dude. I played with them cats. It's crazy because I played with them cats. And I say Jalen Ramsey. You got Xavier Rose. A lot of cats come through there. But I'm thinking that those guys, though, Samari Rowe. A lot of guys that came through that played in the league.
So you spoke Samari Rowe, but let's talk about, because you're originally from New Jersey.
Yes.
Why does Florida State recruit New Jersey so well? Because I know Myron Rolle is from New Jersey, right?
Yes.
Who else is from New Jersey? My guy, what is his name? I always forget his name. Ronald Darby. He's from New Jersey as well. Why does Florida State recruit New Jersey so well?
I think Florida State, the Alabamas, Florida States, and we call them the Blue Bloods and the Big Power 5. We recruit the nation. And so we just don't, you try to own the state of Florida, but you also that's what makes Ohio State. Ohio State recruit everywhere. That's what make Alabama, Alabama. Alabama recruit everywhere. You know what I mean? So when you're going at these top kids, you just want the best. And so Bobby Bowden was all about getting the best. You know what I'm saying? Jimbo Fisher's all about getting the best. And so wherever the best is at, we're going to recruit the best to be able to play for the university. No matter where you're from. Of course, we want to own Florida and get what we get out of here. But if it's somebody that's real good somewhere else, you know, we want to go out there and get him. Like Warwick Dunn. He from New Orleans, from Louisiana.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When it got him. You know what I mean? So we got to get the best. If I have that best players, it don't matter where they are, what state. It can be South Dakota. If he can play, we want you at Florida State.
Yeah. Sounds good.
This is my closing question. Like, I mean, y'all had Derrick Brooks there too. My question is, do you have the most Super Bowl rings out of your class? Or
no, I think I'm even. No. Which out of my class is, I think everybody got 2. No, we got. I'm gonna say out of Florida State, I think JT Thomas got 3 with the Steelers. Okay. And everybody else kind of like got 2. Leroy Butler, I think. I know Dion got 2. I got 2. I was fortunate because nobody thought I would get 1. Nobody would think I'm the underdog of all underdogs. Like
you are.
This little skinny dude did what he did. For real. For real, man. Like nowhere else saw this. Nowhere. Like what? Then he make these teams? That's what I learned in Florida State in practice. I practiced in the league how I practiced in Florida State. That's what got me there. You see what I mean? But I know Dion got 2. I got 2. I know Leroy got 1. We got a couple of guys got 2, man. It's just a testament to how everything went for us at Florida State, man. I just indebted to the school, my teammates who I came with, and my coaching staff that I had. I would not trade my era for no era. I love my era at Florida State that I went in. I've said this all the time. I wouldn't trade my class, my 85 class, that's my class, man. I wouldn't trade them for no class. And I respect all the classes. But 85, that's my class, man. It was the first #1 recruiting class, man. We was tight like that. Still are.
Wow, I did not know that. I did not know that.
Number one. Yup. Wow. #1 recruiting class in the nation that year.
So we'll ask you this and we'll get you out of here, D, man. What is the Seminoles' expectation as far as going into the playoff portion of the season? And do you see them winning the national championship this year, or do we have to wait another year?
There's only one expectation, and that's to win the whole thing.
Okay.
Any team is like that. Any NFL team, any competitive team, and because we are Florida State, Ohio State feel the same way. SC, Notre Dame, Miami. When you go into the season, it's only one thing. You know what I'm saying? Everything else is second. We going in to win the whole thing. We're not going for no more victory. Oh, we won 8 games. Or we won 9. No. We used to win the championship. That's what we going in to play for, man. Championship.
Hey, man. So we need a favor from you, man.
Yes, sir.
We would love for some of your teammates to come by and hang out with us like you did tonight, man. We were so hype about this all week. We were talking about it all week. Like, man, we got D. We got D. Let me tell you what you did. Let me tell you what you did one day on Facebook, because my other Facebook page got erased. And I posted on my Facebook page, happy birthday to Bobby Bowden. And you said, no, man, today ain't his birthday. I said, well, they got it on the Instagram page that it was. He said, no. You said such and such and such and such was Bobby Bowden's birthday. So they got that wrong.
November 8th.
Yeah, we know it's Bob's birthday, man. Man. So we just would ask you to send some of those guys over here so we can. And we would love for you to come back. We would love for you to come back around playoff time and hang out with us, man, and tell us more, D.
Man, I appreciate
I want you to come back. I want you to come back before the Heisman so we can talk about it.
We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about it. Caleb Williams gonna be that dude. He's gonna get it. Ain't nobody close to him. They should do it, but they lost a couple games.
Yeah. I mean, You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. It's just, you know how hard it is for somebody to get it back to back. Sometimes,
The
like
repeat
Lamar,
back to back.
yeah, Lamar Jackson probably had a better year when he didn't win the Heisman than when he did win the Heisman. So it's hard, you know. So that's why I said it's sometimes they don't like giving it back to
no
back.
one from the University of Florida, I'm good. As long as they ain't a Gator, man, I'm straight.
Hey, long as they want them dudes from up north, I'm good.
From
Long,
up north.
you know.
Well, we want to thank you for coming to hang out with us, D. And
Appreciate
we love everything you have done for the game of football. We thank you for fighting and believing in your dreams and not giving up after you didn't get drafted and going back in there and going in.
Yes, sir. Appreciate
Thank you,
too,
brother. And
thank
please
y'all,
come
man.
back and hang out with us, man.
And respect.
Appreciate you. Yes,
All
sir.
right, brother.
Good.
Hey, that was the All Pro Podcast. Please check us out. We'll be back. We got a lot of Florida State alums. We got a lot of former pro players, college players. Come check us out. I'm your host, Jody Football Coleman. We got my man, Stacy the Show Smith.
That's right, baby. That's right, baby. We are streaming on all platforms, YouTube, Spotify, RRS. We're soon to be on iHeart. So please come check us out, download the apps, and come listen to us live sometime.
Peace.
All right. Peace out, baby.